So, Moonland. Moonland was born as some crazy idea back in 2021. I was in August at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. I was just doing the tour, walking around like everyone else. And when it was about to finish the tour, you get to the Apollo section, and then before you get there, you start, watching these videos with everyone, and they take you to this auditoriums and these different scenarios. They show you videos and pictures, and then you see items that they brought from the moon and whatnot. And when you get there, there's this giant replica of the Apollo 11, and I couldn't stop looking at it. I was just like, I never seen a rocket that big, not in person, not at that distance. So I was surprised by the engineering and the amount of work and everything that had to be done to make something like this work. So I started feeling really inspired, and initially started thinking, what if we did something like sort of a video game focused on the moon, but with all of this scientific data around it, and we make all of the items that were left in the moon by the different Apollo landings, Apollo missions, like the U.S. flag, and also the footprints and all of this different stuff. Like I remember one of the astronauts left like a picture of himself and his family. What if we made all of that NFTs? And we somehow allow people to log in from different places and have like a 3D environment, and just let them walk around freely in the moon and just, collect and grab all these different items and eventually maybe trade with each other. So that was like the very basic original idea I had, just me sitting on a corner away from everyone else. And at that moment when I read it, I was like, this is something, but didn't have a name, didn't have anything beyond some random thoughts. So, I just went for something to drink, got a hot dog, finished the tour, and at the end of the tour, there's this Moonlander replica, the device that actually landed on the moon. The name was Moonlander, so as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, this is it, this is the name. It's Moonland. So I initially, I actually edited the whole thing on my iPhone, so I just added the title right there, and I thought like, this is really cool. So I asked a friend of mine. I sent him the text I wrote, and I was like, what do you think about this? And he replied like 9 hours after, and he was like, wow, this is crazy, it's really cool, I like it. Whose idea is this? I told him it's mine. I actually wrote this today. So what do you think? It's a great idea, man. So eventually that day I ended up with that roaming around in my head and thinking on how to do it. So the next day I started looking for more data, for more information, and I found this website. It's a link on the NASA website that you can actually download a 3D map of the moon. It's fully mapped, done by the different satellites. And I started thinking deeper. What if we hire some 3D developers that can actually build a realistic moon based on this? So that's, in general terms, what the original Moonland was going to be. It was going to be very scientific. But I eventually started, thinking on how to sort of keep the science in it, but at the same time make it more approachable to more people, to allow the masses to join in and just have fun. And what if we made this into an actual video game, more cartoonish, more fun? And so that's when it evolved to what it is right now. When we started thinking and well, what if we, instead of doing this, what if we started creating cartoonish characters that have some attitude and they start looking crazy? So we started working. We hired this design firm in the US, and we started exploring some ideas with them. Eventually, we got to a point that we sort of knew what we wanted, but we weren't seeing it. And then at some point, I met someone. His name is Mateo. He's a concept artist, art concept artist, and I saw some of his work and was like, this is it. This guy's crazy. Well, he can do anything he wants. So when I met him, I explained the idea to him, and No, that was it. That was exactly the moment where we could build the characters and the environments as we wanted to be. And the cool thing is that we sort of were able to form a small but very strong and very efficient team in a short amount of time with very low resources, and we produced a really great product. If you look at what Moonland was a year ago, if you look at what Moonland was 2 years ago versus what it is right now, the difference is amazing. Right now we have an internal alpha testing product that, you know, the quality is above most of the games I've seen out there, and it's incredible to see that kind of product in such a short amount of time. So eventually, yeah, we kept the whole idea of the NFTs. We kept the whole idea about integrating blockchain. And once we knew where the game was going to go regarding, you know, the style, the gameplay, the mechanics, then we had to actually, you know, make the blockchain style things work. And that's where we started working on a separate team on the side, how to integrate the token in all of the different aspects that Moonland has. So Moonland is a place where you can basically spend a large amount of time playing. You can share time with others. It's a social media, a social online multiplayer RPG game that involves a huge layer of blockchain technology. So we're kind of trying to mix the communities of the old school gamers with the new school gamers with the blockchain community, and we all have a lot in common, more than what people think. At the end, most of us, blockchain people, we are gamers. And, you know, I've been playing games since I was like 5 years old, a long time ago. So it's actually really cool and sort of a dream come true to see what's going on right now. And, you know, this year, 2024, this is when we are actually going to launch this to the public. So all those years of having an idea and the entire process, and all those, you know, sleepless nights, the team working so hard on everything and trying to compose and trying to make something work, into seeing what it is right now and what it's going to be this year. And the initial launch of the MTK token, the launch pads are going to take place, the crowd sale and everything, and opening up the beta to the public and eventually launching later this year. The actual game, it's something amazing. It's something crazy to see this happening. What we're doing right now, we are polishing. We're making sure everything works. We're every week, and today's Friday, every Friday we join together, the entire team from different places, and we just log in and we start playing and we start, you know, trying random things to see what happens. And the crazy thing is that being an open world video game, it behaves as expected. You know, you can eventually pretty much explore, do so many things, go around bug hunting, or, you know, have the bugs hunt you, because most of the times they kill me. They're really fast, and it's crazy. It's like the sound production when you hear the legs of the little critters walking around you. It's very, very involving, and that's the idea. So yeah, it's really great having seen the product get to this point, but this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning as we are moving on to the next step. The next step will be scaling the game to support other games inside of Moonland. So future games that Meta Studios is going to build, they will be launchable also from Moonland. They will all be interconnected. So your avatar is not just an NFT. It's a global avatar. It's a universal avatar that you can transfer from one game to another. You no longer just have a username on one video game, you have it on all the different games. And your avatar, the experience points you gain on Moonland, will be available on Mr. Bacon, which is a new game that's gonna come up very soon. We're gonna announce it. This is like the premiere right here. And that game is completely different in design. It's a 2D shooter, old style, pixelated video game, sort of resembles the 1990s games. And even that style is amazing. The idea is crazy, and that will also be connected to Moonland. So that technology is already built. We are just starting to polish, starting to put everything together, and later this year we're gonna launch Moonland, and then we're gonna launch the galactic gamepad, where every newcomer game can become a part of the Moonland hub, which is the galactic gamepad. And having that allows developers from different places, different backgrounds that want to showcase their games to a broad audience, global audience, and without having to go through spending too many resources. They can just reach out to us. Hey, we have this video game, we'd like to show it on Moonland, and people will be able to do that. That's that's one of the goals. Of course, it's not going to be realistic. It's not going to be in 2024. 2024 is the launch of Moonland, but this is just like a glimpse of what we will be able to do in the future. And yeah, that's like in general the journey we had for the past 3 years. We started with just a basic idea that eventually grew to 2 persons, 3 persons joining together to start exploring what could be done, and then 4 and 5, and now we have a large team. We have a growing team in different countries, different backgrounds, and that cultural mix allowed us to have so many different insights that once you mix them together, you get a really powerful team, really strong, really creative team. And that's part of the essence of Moonland. The essence of Moonland is the people behind it. There's a community behind it. Our community is worldwide. We have people from the US all the way to South Korea. So it's amazing. It's amazing to see how quickly it's grown such a short amount of time, even without being released. So in many ways, I would like to thank you all community members, everyone who follow us on our social media, and the team behind Moonland. We work so hard, and sleepless nights and all those crazy times that we just sat down thinking what to do next, what crazy thing. Every week there's a new idea. There's actually something crazy that's going to be launched, I think, maybe in 2 weeks.